All right, Bulls and Bears. Hey there. It is Tuesday, September 28th, 2021. Thank you for being here. Wow, the month of September coming to an end, and I can't believe it's almost October and that we're already beginning to talk about holiday spending. And we've got some very expensive holidays that are coming up here. And between now and the actual holidays, it's going to get even more expensive. So let's talk about the rising credit card debt and where things are headed, these rising prices, and are you going to be going out and spending and getting into debt for the holidays? Please let me know down in comments, but I am personally really cutting out a lot of spending this year. What happens is every year in my household, or at least a few times a year actually, we go to the thrift store, we donate a bunch of stuff, and I'm loading up the boxes, and I'm thinking to myself, why did we buy this? For example, like 10 board games that the kids never play. They should play them, but they don't. Why do we buy them? I know some people may say you make your kids, you make them play the games and blah, blah, blah. I wish I had more time to sit and watch what my kids were doing or not doing. Don't report me here to CPS or anything like that, but I can't watch my kids 24/7. So there's going to be things that they should be doing that they're not doing. Anyways, let's talk about the credit card debt and what we should expect for these rising prices coming up here on the holidays in 2021. And again, please let me know down in the comments, will you be taking on debt? Will you be swiping your card to buy gifts? Or are you going to be like me? Are you going to pull back and have a minimalist Christmas? Minimalist, by that I mean, do some things for your kids or for the family that are family oriented, not just stuff, not just opening packages and then the stuff gets put in the closet and they may or may not ever look at it again. I'm talking about quality time with the family, maybe go to a holiday event, maybe go on a little holiday trip or getaway, or maybe just spend more time with your family, because if you have days off of work and your kids are out of school, which if they are in school, I hope they get Christmas break, they should. Use that extra time off to spend more time with your family. To me, that's a great gift that I wish my parents would have done more of with myself. Anyways, let's talk about the credit card debt situation and what's happening. Article here out of Reuters: as Americans spend, credit card debt is ticking back up. So people are now out spending, they're traveling more. Who knows what next month will bring? Maybe there'll be a new round of shutdowns and restrictions, but people are out spending more and they're traveling more. Credit card debt is ticking back up. A couple of reasons here. Prices are rising. So obviously, even the same things that you bought before are more expensive now. So that's going to be a bigger reason why credit card debt is increasing. But, and here's something that I don't think is reported on enough. When banks have unlimited debt that they can issue, also known as credit on the flip side, that's going to create unlimited demand. What happens when you have unlimited demand? When banks are declared too big to fail, when banks can continually loan out money even though there may be bad credit risks that they know may not pay it back, well, you're going to have rising prices. The more people that have credit and cards to swipe and higher credit limits, and the more people that can take out loans to go buy things that they normally could not afford, then the higher prices rise. And combine that with the supply chain issues, the labor shortage issues, the shipping delays, the rising energy costs, the rising transportation costs, and yes, oil is up again. Oil dropped for a while. We said it would go back up, and now it's nearly about $75 a barrel. Last time I checked. Anyways, it's rising again. Prices are rising. And this is a vicious circle, not a vicious cycle, a vicious circle. And how bad is it? Well, actually over 42% of Americans have more debt now than they did pre-pandemic. And it spells it out right here. The end of stimulus checks, expanded unemployment benefits, and eviction moratoriums does not bode well for debt management. Right? All the things that we've been talking about here, we said that debt would climb. Most people, maybe not doing as bad as this 42%, but a lot of people are barely getting by or treading water, right? So not paying off debt, but not getting further into debt. Now let's talk about auto loan debt. Auto debt for the population increased by $33 billion in one quarter. Mortgage debt by $282 billion in one quarter. Just like we said, all debt's going to continue to go higher and higher. And now as a nation, consumers are under about $15 trillion in debt. Now, what do we mean by vicious circle? There's a lot of money out there chasing a limited number of products, causing shortages and higher prices. The higher prices mean, of course, people have to pay more. And they're enabled to be able to pay more by the endless debt issuance or credit issuance out of the banks, which can loan out unlimited amounts of money without any worry of the consumer not being able to pay back the loan because they've been promised a get out of jail free card, or what a lot of people would call too big to fail endless rescue programs from the money printer. So until that changes, you're going to see nonstop inflation. Remember the previous corrections where you saw prices drop, that was based on banks pulling back credit, pulling back on the lending. Right, remember, banks initially didn't know that they were going to get rescued. The 2008 was a whole new world as far as banking and the financial institutions' ability to loan out money. Even before that, though, it was still bad. It still created asset bubbles because you had fractional reserve and very little accountability. But now it's even worse, and many people say it's 100 times worse because it's basically unlimited. There's zero reserve requirement, which we have the fractional reserve now money can be loaned out in infinite amounts. I know it sounds crazy, but that's what's happening. And for those non-believers, let's just look at a chart right here. Reserve requirement ratio, all the way going back to 1980, we see it averaged about 10% for a very long time. And of course, the pandemic, 2020, zero ever since then. And what does that mean? Endless lending, endless debt, nonstop rising prices. For prices to ever come down or reverse, this has to change. It's your guess, as good as my guess, if and when that will change. We do see some things pretty interesting that are happening. We got a couple people from the Fed, a couple Fed presidents that are actually resigning because of the whole trading scandal. Is that the tip of the iceberg for something much bigger? Will there be any accountability? Will there be a big change in the way that money is created and lent? Well, a lot of us here hope so. On the other hand, a lot of people are making money off of this type of system because they know to bet against the debt, to ride the bull and make money from this inflation. You have to be invested in the right areas. Some people are just sitting back and watching their home value go up and up and up, cashing out and pocketing hundreds of thousands of dollars by moving to a lower priced area. So it depends on who you ask. You know, some people love this, some people not so much. Some people are getting further buried under debt. A lot of it their own fault. People love to spend. We've got some very expensive holidays coming up here. And I would strongly encourage caution and maybe not to be like this person right here and go shopping crazy for the holidays. Because with this environment right now, with nonstop rising prices, no sign of stopping it or reversing it, it's getting pretty dangerous out there for a lot of people. Hope everybody's well. Stay safe. Keep stacking. Stay prepared. Until next time. Bye for now.